I was fascinated by the lab environment already at a very early age. I accompanied my father to the lab on weekends, and I was allowed to count the colonies with a little colony counter, and I really enjoyed that.
My life has actually been a journey from a non-academic to an academic environment. And this has been possible because I got a lot of support from my family, but also because of some amazing teachers that really sparked my curiosity.
Most people in life have an important role model. My biggest role model was my mother. She showed immense determination in all of the pursuit she undertook. And I think it's that determination that stood me in good stead. Without that, definitely I would not be where I am today. I guess my career in science started off at a very early age. In fact, it started off at the time I was born. My mother, when she was 14, contracted polio. And being a paraplegic, she was the first woman in New Zealand that gave natural birth. And so I was then written up as an article in the New Zealand Medical Journal. One of the things that my mum was really keen on was travel and being out in nature. So we'd travel around, stay in these campgrounds, and it sort of instilled in me a love of the outdoors and a love of nature.
I grew up in Basel with my dad and my mom and a sister that's 6 years younger than I am. My mother was actually at home with us, and we profited a lot from her being with us. My father is a scientist and at the time was very busy, but when he was with us, we did lots of stuff together as a family. We would go for hikes, we'd go to the mountains or to the sea. So that definitely influenced the way I live today.
I was born in Naxco, on an island south of Zealand. It was a working town with a big shipyard that was blooming when I was a child. My father was engineer at the shipyard, and my mother was at home, taking care of my sister and me, and later my younger sister.
My father grew up in Fiji, and when he was 17 years of age, he moved to New Zealand. He was interested in studying medicine, but was unable to do so, and finally he took a job as a blue-collar worker. In spite of her disability, my mother worked as a secretary. She was always very keen to be able to work and make a contribution.
My mom and dad, they let us freely decide in which direction we would want to develop and what we'd like to do, which was very valuable in the process of growing up. But I actually came to love science at a really early age. Perhaps influenced by the early trips to the lab of my father, there were many items around that I wasn't used to seeing at home. There were petri dishes and little glasses and pipettes around and syringes, and so essentially it's an environment which was totally different to anything that I would be seeing otherwise. I thought that was really fascinating.
When I started in elementary school, I was not very good. I still is to a certain degree dyslexic. So this was kind of a hindrance for me to progress.
I was 5 years of age when my father left. It was a real struggle for my mum. Although we didn't see it, my mum was really stressed. And so when I was about 8 years of age, she had a nervous breakdown and was then offered a stay in a rest home close to Hamilton. The patron of the rest home took our family under his wing. We were provided with a house that was fully furnished. It really gave us the opportunity to make a fresh start.
My grandfather, he was principal of one of the local schools. He was home tutoring me, and that was a very, very, very good thing for me. I really caught up, and when I went into high school, I thought I was hanging on pretty well. There was a whole team of newly graduated teachers. They were super enthusiastic and created an atmosphere that actually nurtured a curiosity. In particular, my biology teacher was fantastic and sparked my interest in the function of the human body.
My mum wanted us to attend the premier school in Hamilton. She had to lobby very hard on our behalf. And it was there that I spotted this book on cell biology, and I was absolutely fascinated by this idea that we could really sort of begin to understand these basic aspects of life that sort of stuck with me.
I fell in love with neuroscience because I somehow realized that this is the last area in biology where the fundamentals were still there to be discovered. And I came to realize that we actually understand very little about how movements and behaviors are regulated. If you think about it, you move all the time. I mean, if you watch TV, your eyes move around. Maybe then you grab for a chip, that's also movement. Even breathing, you do the whole day, it's movement. So essentially the entire nervous system works together to make our bodies move. It's a machine that runs with every millisecond with precision. Your movements are perfectly well coordinated. I still feel like I know nothing. I feel that there's a mountain of stuff to be discovered. It's like you're entering new territory that nobody has seen yet before you, and you're the first one to see, and that's a wonderful feeling. I really learned to love to be in nature already during childhood. This allowed me to stay grounded, and it wouldn't have been possible without the caring environment in my family that I grew up in.
I think it's important to have role models. I am grateful for everyone that has been in that role. My family and the teachers have also been an inspiration. And in my current life, my wife Inga, she has been an immense inspiration for me and a very strong support that I appreciate very much.
When we moved to Hamilton and were provided with a house, this really gave us an opportunity to change our lives as a family. One of the ways I can give back is by volunteering for Habitat for Humanity, which builds houses for low-income, disadvantaged people. I don't think that I would be where I am without my mum, not only as a role model, but just in terms of the life that she really created for us.
I'm very grateful to have experienced a very carefree childhood. Not many people are that fortunate, and I'm totally aware of that. Childhood is something that is the foundation for your adult life. And if your childhood is a good one, it also gives you confidence for the rest of your life.